Okay, apologies if there's any pump noises going on in the background. We're going to start the second Murders at Karlov Manor draft, and hopefully the pumps are okay. There's a lot of rain out here in Southern California, and we are prepared for it. We're not used to it, and the equipment hasn't been used in a while, but we are hoping nothing floods. I'm in charge of panicking if that pump ever turns off. So, I think everything's all right. It's a bit goofy down here. Okay. So only one rare. Assemble the players. Disappointing, only one rare. I'm gonna take a quick screenshot of it just so that I know what wheels around, even though usually I'm more interested in what wheels, but these days it is not as important because you wheel fewer cards. When you wheel 5 cards now instead of what was usually 6 or 7. So, man, I really don't want to take a murder if I don't have I don't like playing black if I don't have a good bomb. I really like red a lot. This is kind of a good 5-color pick. It's also just a good Rakdos card. So I think I'm going to grab it. I could also take Crime Stopper Sprite. I think this card's good, but I don't like taking 3-drops. I think 2-drops are significantly better than 3-drops just because you always have your 3-drop slot covered by the disguised creatures, and I'm not as interested in doubling up on those. However, it would have been good because we also have a Dramatic Accusation here. Curse of the Trampled Garden doesn't seem bad. It seems it's a little bit dorky, doesn't do anything. This is a really good detective card as well. I think this is a decent black card. Not amazing, but if you have like a flyer, flyers can basically be unblockable. It surveils every turn. Extract Confessions also. It's okay. It's really bad against tokens. Both of these are 3s. This is a 3. This is a 3. I'm gonna take the quote-unquote hard removal. Okay, there's a fixing land, a murder. Still no like bomb card, unfortunately. I'm just in the mode of like picking the best card out of the pack so far. And if I'm doing for that, I don't think this card's like horrible, but not a top pick. Soul Search is pretty good. Museum Night Watch. This card's only good if you're like hardcore white-black, but I do appreciate this one a lot. I think I'll just take Night Watch because it's just, I'm never sad about Night Watch, and I'm really annoyed when my opponent plays a Night Watch, so that's when you know a card's kind of decent. Okay, Bite Down on Crime. No fixing whatsoever. I still don't like this card. Everyone else seems to love it. I like the cat. Haunch. I think Haunch is great. I wish you could have... It's an equipment that can turn into creatures, so if you get flooded on equipment, then it's actually not that big of a problem. Is it better than Galvanize? I kind of want to take this. Probably Galvanize is better. I want to see how it is. I already played like one Boros draft and did pretty well. So now I want to try to go a little bit more goofy. Inside Source, fine, but again, a 3-drop that I'm not super happy about running. If I want to commit to like playing 4 colors, I could just take this Gadget Technician. Case of the Filched Falcon. It's kind of cool, but you kind of have to commit to that, don't you? I think I'll just take Inside Source. It's 2 bodies in 1 card, which is nice with my equipment. And if I still go for like a token strategy, then this works both ways. It pumps up the tokens, and it makes tokens if I need them. Escape Tunnel. What's this? Ha. It's nice that you can do it for a while. Long Goodbye is also really good. Long Goodbye or Escape Tunnel. If I want to start pushing red, I could do this. I think I am going to take this. Again, I'm just like taking the best card in the pack. Another dramatic accusation. Do people not like this card? It is pretty good removal. I guess it doesn't stop some things, like Aurelia has been a big problem in my opinion. Okay. Getting this really late means that this color combination is wide open. I mean, I think this is technically a better pick. So far, this is my only red card, but there's a lot of red cards in the pack. Am I wheeling anything that's red? Maybe the concealed weapon at best. I don't really want that. I'm going to take this guy. I'm going to try to be a little bit safer. Figuring out my colors. Because a very good chance I take a second one of these, I don't play them. And that just feels really terrible. Clue land or just a deduction. I'm going to take deduce. Shady Informant's really annoying, in my opinion. So I guess the color combination's open, but I think this is a safer pick. Decent card. I'm not super into this. Everything. You never have to pass a bomb if you're 5 color, right? Uneaten Feast. Ooh. Ah, no. Gaining 5 life. How do I gain 5 life? This gains me 3? It's not like I can't do it. But I think it's a little bit too hard. Also, I'm just not really into the cases. Like, this doesn't do anything by itself. Curious Inquiry. Don't have any flyers yet, but I do have a lot of ways to get through. The Fox ain't bad, but I'm just not into green. Double green's kind of annoying. I have to play 2 forests in the deck. I'm just going to take the more hard removal. And at least at some point I have to figure out what I'm doing. I really need to get past like a good payoff card. Because right now I'm just a bunch of removal, and I guess there are some 2-for-1s in here. Does this count as a 2-for-1? Probably not. I never feel bad about Night Watch. And from winning my last draft, I got to take the Mastery Pass and get the nice version of this. Novice Inspector or Makeshift Binding. I'm not sure if I'm going to be like really heavy in white. Am I a white-black deck? It's so weird. Burden of Proof. Very cool. Makeshift Binding. I really like this card, but like I'm not an attacking deck for sure. I think I just take more bindings. I'm gonna have like, if there's a, I know there's like a hybrid card that kills all enchantments. If I see that, I'm dead. I am gone. I think Novice Inspector. Why aren't you an investigator? You investigate. You should be an investigator. Come on, guys. So, am I base white? Because I don't want to play this unless I'm base white. This card's also pretty good. I'm going to take the Inspector first. Okay, another one of these. Reenact the crime. Triple blue makes this not possible for me. I could also just be really safe and take the escape tunnel. I don't think I'm attacking that much. And this is something that it doesn't really work when it's not your turn. I'm going to take the escape tunnel. When I get a chance to take fixing, I'm going to take fixing. And now I'm getting a chance to take fixing or a dog walker. Dog walker just feels really good in general. But, you know, this was my problem. Like, I wasn't sure if I was going to be playing these at all because I'm so far not seeing much red at all. I could take the dog walker, even though it is technically red. But this card's really cool. But I'm very reactive, so I'm never going to get empty-handed. Another Museum Night Watch. Just Museum Night Watch Tribal. More 2-for-1 cards. If I slow down the game, like, what's my advantage for slowing down the game, you know? It's a big question. Another one of these. More discard. I guess this is something to do in the very, very late game. It's only creatures. Okay. How many agents are going to get thrown around? Yeah, that's a no. This is kinda 5-color, but like it doesn't really go in the control deck, unfortunately. The deduce is probably not getting in. Thinking cap is okay. I mean, white was super open from this side. That's crazy. Okay, I'm pretty sure Cryptic Coke is... This is one of the cards I was most excited for. Not excited for, like, worried about, I should say more, because I think it's really, really hard to beat. It's a card advantage engine that makes unblockable creatures. I think this is exactly what I want to do when they have, you know, like 4 hard removal spells. Oh man, this is so bad with Dramatic Accusation, huh? Might have to do something about that. Is there a chance I just cut black and be blue-white in that case? I mean, I'm very happy with blue-white in general. The doggo... Weirdly, like, this counts for 2 bodies but not at the same time, so it doesn't work too great with the doggo. I guess take another makeshift binding. This makes 2 bodies. This makes a body. Actually, it makes infinite bodies if I really want to. It's a 4-mana play. It's a little bit inefficient. I think I'm just supposed to take this. Hey, non-job. On the job. Snoop is reasonable. Buried in the Garden is also really, really strong. I really like Buried in the Garden. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna try for it. I have time to make the fixing work for it. Hey, look, a rare that we will not be touching. This is probably gone. This is probably not gonna make it. I don't think Bite is gonna make it either. This was kind of graveyard itself to collect evidence, but not in a great way. Like a 4 tough... I'm very happy about having a 4 toughness flyer. So I'm going to grab that. Forum Familiar picks up not that much. Decent 2-drop. I think it's one other Strider and B. It helps me with my green. I can take another... Vampire. How's this getting this late? The card's very good. Kind of drafted a mess of a deck here. Yeah, sure, I'll take another 4 toughness flyer, but if I draw both of them, I'm going to be really unhappy. I'm not into red. I like Killer Among Us a lot. Also want to see how this card actually functions on Arena. Witness is fine. I really like Toxin Analysis. I have a decent amount of tokens and 1/1s also. I'm gonna take a Toxin Analysis. I also think I'm dropping this. Alright, well it came back around anyways, so that was kind of a waste. I'll find out if I need a second one. But I somehow doubt it. Probably cutting this. It's like a definitely maybe. I wonder what I have to take here. Okay, I might sit here and think about my deck building for a while. I might cut out some of this, but I think Phantom's gone. I'm really nervous about playing two of these, even though it's probably not that big of a deal. But if I draw two of them, like I have no way of getting rid of it. But 4 toughness is wonderful. I should probably just cut this Toxin Analysis, right? I have a lot of removal already. It's good with the agent, but it's good with this. What's my actual creature count? This is 1, this counts as 2 is 3, this counts as 3 is 6, 8, 9, 11, a bunch. Okay, my creature count is fine. My creature count is absolutely fantastic. So now I'm just kind of worried about getting things on the board. Maybe Inside Source isn't that interesting. Am I thinking about cutting lands? I don't know. We're going to drop one of these. I think I can make this work, but it's probably too risky. Because I really don't want to trade this off with a Toxin Analysis. Even though like it's fine, it's fine. And I have nothing to get a lot of lifelink back. I guess I have this. It's kind of a messy deck. Huh. I'm going to cut an agent. And hopefully that's like a decent... Going to cut one of these and add an island, because I really want Cryptic Coat to work. And this needs double blue, technically. Scene of the Crime is probably not great. Do I have any reason to want an artifact? Not necessarily. What does it say exactly? Oh, cool. I can sacrifice other things and still get dogs. I kind of want to try this, but it's probably too stupid. Right? Oh, that should not be there at all. I think this is okay. It's effectively 9 white sources, and even with this, it's even more. Yeah. I think I can ship this. Okay. Taking the screenshot, and see you in the games. Alright, it's going to be game 1 with this weird 4-color control deck. Hopefully it does okay. This, okay, it's got 1 drop. It's got 2 of our colors. It's missing 2 of our colors, so, you know, it's a trade-off, but Getting a haunch on the first turn down. If I can get a 2-drop here, that'd be great. I guess, like, no, I don't really have that many 2-drops I can draw here other than Strider. Okay, I'm not going to be mad about drawing the best card in my deck. So Cryptic Coat is definitely going to be good. The haunch takes 4 to turn into doggies. I can just eat it for 2, but for the dogs I need 4. But just having the coat over here, I just want to stall out. Being against green black, I'm very happy about being against green black when I just want to go for a really long game. And they also didn't play anything on turn 2. I'm not really sure what an aggressive green black deck looks like, but I don't know. Someone can show me. Someone can show me. But we're going to get this warrior creature up. We're going to add a second equipment to it. It's going to be unblockable. It's going to be a 4-turn clock. Yeah, I think everything looks pretty good right now. Actually, I'm probably going to play Museum Night Watch. Coat is so much fun. And I turned it... My coat is an escape tunnel. So everyone just watch out. I guess... Well, first things first... Just gonna attack. And... I'm gonna play our big flying blocker. And by the rules of... Actually, it could... Is there a 4-2? There's actually a flying 4-2 that I can turn into to trade with my guy, but... I can just block. I'll be okay with bouncing. I'll be okay with trading. There's nothing super scary that can come out of it. Other than... Rot Farm. I love Mortipedes. Mortipedes are so cool. It does have Menace. It has Lifelink. I definitely want to... I don't think they can't get anything back right now. So the question is, do I just get rid of the Mortipede now, or do I just let it simmer for a bit? If I knew the format a little bit better, I could figure out what exactly is scary about a face-on creature. But for right now, I can use up all my mana, add guys on the board, start whacking in for 7. And against green-black, like there's not much I'm too... actually, there's a board wipe, but it's not going to stop the coat. It's not going to stop my pork chop. I'm having blockable 5-power creatures no matter what. So they're whacking in. They gave a little boost to their morph guy. But... Okay, so what removal spell do I want to use on this? I think I'm supposed to... I would like to get the 2 life from binding. But I might want to save it for a creature that... I mean, it has a passive ability, so I just want to makeshift bind it. Because I don't want that to keep triggering for the rest of my life. Even though it's not the scariest thing. Yeah, take this away. Oh, do I just have... I just have 9. Okay, I don't know why I was thinking about this for so long. Okay, the opponent gives out the good game. Hold the kid back. And that's the first game. Short and quick. Let's do 6 more of those, right? I don't think it's going to be too short. This deck is not made for killing people quickly. Game 2. Alright, no easy win off Cryptic Coat this time, I guess, but we have a 2-drop and we have a 3-drop and we have a removal that we will eventually unlock. This mana base isn't great. It's got 3 islands, but it's got 4 cards that can get me blue mana. At least 4 cards? In addition to that. So yeah, I have a lot of blue sources. Green-red's a little bit more scary than green-black. And they have a Mask Maker? Are they aggressive? Well, this will slow them down. I think green-red's like one of those decks that really wants all of its mana. Like, it wants to get to 6 for their Disguise Guide, the Hellion. So, this card definitely hurts them no matter what. Let's see what they threw away. A Person of Interest. That's a decent card. If they're throwing away Person of Interest, what does that mean? Okay, they play Morph. That's not a huge surprise. I'll play a Morph just to keep up the game here. I probably should have attacked. I should have attacked because I don't think they block my agent. The reason why you're supposed to attack in these things is that if you don't attack, then you basically tell your opponent you don't have a trick. So, no matter... They might just get you, but also I don't think this one's a huge deal. It could be. It could... There's no really sacrifice effects to make a 1/1 good. The only thing I have is like Toxin Analysis that makes you really want to keep it around. Actually, now it's going to be pretty good value because I can flip up my guy and then trade with the 4/4. Alternatively, I just play this guy and then block with that. Again, maybe I'm supposed to attack into this and try to scare him. But in this case... What's the... I mean, I don't even think I can bluff too much into against a 4/4. Like, there's a +2/+2 investigate trick. That's the one that I would be bluffing. There's also like Death Touch, but that's not... I personally wouldn't be afraid of that. Like, I'm annoyed by it, but you can't play around it. This one, I'm just going to make this block, make them do their trick. Oh, a Pyrotechnic Performer. It's one of the few things I can turn up for 1 mana. I guess Green-Red has all the things that turn up for 1 mana. And very glad to get the trade-off. Really would like blue mana at some point. Because they're going to get up to 5 and 6. They're at 5 mana. They could get up to 6. I think I can play through their beefy cards. Keep stalling. They make another guy. They draw land. It could be a Hellion. So I guess, do I want to flip up my... I mean, there's not much point in waiting. Not the land I was looking for. At least my planes are pretty. I feel pretty comfy right now. There's... The one morph I'm really terrified of is something radical. Gives +1 to your team and trample for the turn. But even then... I could double block the morph to play... Okay, well, they're not attacking with everything, so it's not that. It could be that guy that looks for forests, but... No, I still kill that, right? I actually don't remember what that card is exactly, but something big. What are you? An ambusher? Ambushing bugs? I'm not really interested in that. Oh, I take 4 from this Pyro. Okay, well, I can't really profitably block a 4/5 here, I think. I'm going to trade 2 guys for it. And if they have a trick, then I'm just destroyed. Luckily, I got the code out. With the code, I can pretty much block forever. I have so many options now. I love Gravestrider. I guess I'm technically an Orzhov deck, but I'm a good Orzhov deck. I'm not like those other Orzhov decks. Gonna lock this thing down. Not gonna attack. I really can't afford to take damage anymore with this Pyrotechnic. I should get rid of the Pyrotechnic, because if I'm stalling out, I keep... Okay, more threats to block, I guess. This is the tough part. Green-red, it can't draw cards, but it can just draw creatures that make you double block it. Luckily, I have a coat that can give me blocks for days. Now I need to... This is an inflection point. I think with the coat out, I definitely want to... I can gum up the board. It's not like green-red plays any evasion. And I just want to take away their direct damage. So this is a bit goofy. They got a 6/5 trampler on the board, and I'm going to take away their 3/2. The Pyrotechnic's really strong. Okay, now they're on 7. That's not the card I was afraid of at 7. I keep seeing people, don't play this Maverick thing. I like the cat. The cat's really cool. I'm really not into it. They got 1 card left in hand. I mean, if it's a trick, I eventually have to play into it. Do I overblock? Overblocking just means I lose more guys to a trick. I'm going to take 2 here. Actually, if I flip up the dog walker, I'm going to take 3. Actually, I did get to play around. If I do block with the detective, if I did block the detective, then I flipped up the dog walker, it would beat a +3/+3 trick. But it would also mean, oh, I would lose my whole board. Yeah, never mind. I would lose an extra detective just to save myself 3 life. Okay, so I'm at 8 mana. The reason why I'm counting my mana is I know there's a list card that counts the number of lands your opponent has and deals that much damage to them. For right now, I feel like I'm stable. And if I get to Makeshift Binding a creature, then I'll be very, very stable. And I'm trying to make good use of my mana here. Okay, now this is... Face down guys are just stressful, you know? I'm gonna start making more dudes, I think. They're attacking. They got 1 card left. Yeah. I think this is right. Although I'm not really sure why they just want to throw away their guy. They're also not using it yet. Either way, I pick up the coat because it's dumb, and I'm allowed to do that. Get an escape tunnel. Am I supposed to use the escape tunnel before I use the coat? Guess I'm not going to think about it too much. Make sure I use the Gravestrider ability each turn. Be very efficient. Get another disguise guy. Eventually. My opponent keeps thinking. Oh, they can use that ability to bring back lands, but I don't care about that. Okay, tunnel. Do I keep tunnel around? I don't think so. The 1/3 is keeping back everything. The 3 toughness, I think, is pretty good in this format. That's also why I really overvalue Night Watch. Imagine having disguised creatures at Art Museum Night Watch. Actually, let me look at my list right now. I have a dog walker, and then every other guy is a Museum Night Watch. Connecting the dots. I guess that means they can like attack with their whole team and get to draw 3 cards eventually. They're at 20, so they can afford to do that. And I have 5, 7, 8, 10 power on board. Okay, so it's kind of risky for them. Alright, they grow their guy to a 2/4. That's kind of clever, actually. Now my infinite stream will not get through that. Get a second blue source. I guess 3rd now. It's really cool that Gravestrider gets to work on both turns. It just works so good with Coat. Because Coat really needed help here. Haunch. Oh, Haunch gains me life. Okay. I guess there's an idea of whether I want to... This is first things first. Let's see what we pick up. Hope the dog walker? I already got dog walker. Never mind. What do I even want here? We go haunches. Gonna try to move over the coat to my morph. Huh. Doesn't give me an option for... Wait, this doesn't have equip? What kind of equipment did you make? Okay, maybe I should just leave it on a guy instead of making a 2-2 every turn. I mean, I do have to eventually do something, I guess. I mean, I'm not scared of red-green's reach. Now that I have a good buffer for getting to 11 life. I could spend the mana to tap out for it, but no. So even if they do get the 8 mana and then play the 8 mana card, I can gain 3 and be totally safe from it. Okay, they're on 8. Glad to see that they're drawing a land. And it's not a forest, in case they have... I know there's a card that counts the number of forests you have. They seem to be very heavy on red, though. And they have a land cycler. I wonder if... They've had this card in their hand forever. And my paranoia says it's the Price of Progress card. I'll go look it up during their turn, I guess. Now they got a face down guy. And now's the right time to use this. It's gonna be really comfy at 11 here. And a giant pile of creatures. I guess if they show like blue mana and then play a huge flyer. Maybe a Kellen? Kellen would be really annoying, I guess. But no, I have removal for it. It's fine. Okay, let's use our coat correctly and attack first. I will attack first. At some point. Opponent is thinking. What could be under their guy? Is there anything that has like a tap trigger in red-green? There's a guy that makes a Thopter. A Thopter would definitely kind of stress me out. Especially with the connecting the dots. Oh, that's actually really good. Use the blue. Pick up the coat. Play the coat. Let's roll the dice. It's not even it makes a 2-2 token. It makes a 2-2 disguise. It's got ward and can turn up into other creatures, which I still will never do apparently. Then we'll add 2 more gods to the board. The master removal is white, black, and there's a blue-red one, so I think I'm complete. Oh shoot! It's like they're actually playing this is the new play booster kind of thing. You have fewer cards, so sometimes you play cards that are a little bit... You play them that are on theme, but are generally weaker. And what the heck? This can kill my coat, right? They could have got back their pyrotechnic guy. They could have killed my coat. Maybe they thought I could pick up the coat still. I don't know. Opponents should have a little bit more creativity with their creeper. I was just saying, like, you have to kind of reach for your like 23rd playable sometimes. Like, what is it for me? I think when you're in 4-color, you don't really have this problem usually. Although I am playing this stupid 6-mana bounce guy just because I can't get anything else for the late game. Okay, well, sometimes you're playing in silver and people just let you keep your coats. I'm still going to take it slow and steady. There would have to be some kind of weird sequence, like shock, plus deal... let me get my mana first. How much mana? 7, 9. I'm on 9 lands right now. So end of turn shock, untap, kill you with the land cycler would work. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna look up this card. I know it's on the list, so I don't even know how to really search for it. I should search for it by mana. Oh, shoot. Okay. Now we have an attack coming in. Alright, well, I have a lot of options here, and I am going to choose to play around all the things. First, let me line up lethal blocks, and then afterwards I'll figure out what to do from there. This is slightly better to do this, I suppose. And then the trick I'm going to play around is +3/+3 trample. I think there's another common that gives first strike, but I am just going to take the L on that if it happens. Alright, so extra blocking by 3 damage on everything. And I definitely am clearing their power in case there's a trample thing going on. I don't know if... I'm keeping back the guys that I want to keep back. Luckily picking up the coat doesn't mean I'm going to like lose a creature or anything. Okay, back to that card. The name of the card is Treacherous Terrain. It is 6 red-green. Deals damage to each opponent equal to the number of lands that player controls, and basic land cycling for 2. So, red-green card, costs 8, can deal 9 damage to me. Okay, they had no turn. Can deal 9 damage to me. That's the one that I'm most afraid of. And then also connecting the dots can draw. Let's see. If they have it, they have to like cast it and then use connecting the dots. And if they're not using it here, I think I'm in the clear. And they're holding an off-color card, I guess. They're gonna eat one of my guys. I guess that's a good time to use this. I was gonna try to figure out what I'm gonna do at the end of turn if I can get lethal damage. I guess I should count right now. Oh, right, they can do that. They get some 1 extra land? Okay, so 5, 8, 9, 11. I can get 1 more from the inside source. So, yeah, I'm off by 2. So I would have had lethal if I had not overblocked, I think. But I'm fine with keeping it safe. I probably should have actually I should have just, you know, played a little bit more risky than used a removal spell to win the game. And keep 1 doggo back since we're not lethal anyways. And pass. Okay, now it's going to be... They're going to crack their connecting the dots. Try to make it. You got 10 mana, opponent. You can do a lot. Oh, it's World... That was their last card, so I was kind of right. They had like a deal 8 spell in hand. Oh, jeez. Okay, okay. Alright, it's going to be game 3. That red-green deck gave me a bit of a scare, but I think I'm definitely playing slow, but this is the kind of deck you gotta play slow with. Okay, all of our colors except for 1. W Museum Nightwatch. I'm on the draw, which is not great with this hand, since I don't have a 2-drop, but hey, I can draw a 2-drop. That's not a 2-drop. Another green deck. Very glad... Nah, not red. And then a really good 2-drop. Okay, well, don't have too many choices here. I guess I could have played the island and bluff a counterspell. Breakout. I don't think there's that many 2-drops that grow this dude. He gets a Tunneler with haste, so he can play something else. Nah, it's gonna hit me. Okay. So, I think, yeah, just makeshift binding this rookie before it gets out of hand. I mean, I would love to save this for a bigger guy, but rookie is very... there's a big guy. The Lockstone Lorekeeper, I think, is also detective. It attacks as a 4/4. It draws a card. It's really good. And it actually doesn't really get stopped by my Night Watch. Usually Night Watch can cover me on everything. So I really would have liked to have a green mana source here. I guess I could have played this face down and then played Escape Tunnel and then had a Killer Among Us for the next turn. Then I have to... Nah, I'm just like giving away material at that point. They used their... I think they used their Investigate a little bit too early there. Alright, we got another Museum Night Watch. Which again, this is why I really like this card. I'm going to draw 4 of them maybe, and I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be happy about it. That's a no common's good. If I drew 4 Shocks, I probably wouldn't like it. If I drew 4 Elephants, that would be good actually. Could be Hellion. But if it is Hellion, like, it's going to eat something eventually. It is a... Oh, it's a Selesnya thing. Okay, it's almost as big as a Hellion, and for 1 mana discount. Luckily, I'm going to have a bunch of chump blockers. If I can't draw a card, then the Museum Night Watch will hold the fort. Yes, opponent, I am playing 4 colors because I'm a psychopath. Ooh, Vampire would be really cool before the Killer Among Us because I'd get to drain 3. Drain. But if it just dies, I'm going to be really mad. And I'd have to tank 6 damage or give up a token. That's probably fair, but... Nah, I'm just gonna play this guy out now. We got a reader. They should have 2 mana up, so they could have things. If they have a Galvanize... If they have a Galvanize, they probably wouldn't use it, but it also makes a potential double block really bad. Galvanize being the deal 3, and sometimes deals 5. And always pick human. I'm also gonna mouse over my goblin a few times to try to inception my opponent. Now they're mousing over my goblin, so they think it's gonna be the goblin. That's how you just inside. See, now you can see how what they're looking at, which is I think a really cool feature of Arena. He's like just reading. Awesome. Now I'm going to read it. I did pick human, right? So I think this card's great. I think 3 tokens for 5 mana is already like fine. And the Mind Games thing doesn't actually matter. It only matters if you're like attacking with all 3 tokens at once. And then you kind of stress them out. I guess I could play a Swamp here so I can more easily bluff murder. They didn't attack, they didn't play anything. I don't know, like what am I doing with my life if I'm not attacking with this? And then after they block, I can make it into a 4/4. What, you don't believe me? You don't believe me that it's going to be a 4/4? That'd be an amazing bluff, actually. This is why I say like the mind game doesn't matter. Like, okay, they did have a Galvanize, but if that's like the only thing they have, well, let's find out. Let's find out. Play Vamp, play the face down card so I can drain 1. There's also the unwritten rule. If you play 2 Museum Night Watches, then your next one has to be face down, because they're never going to expect the 3rd Museum Night Watch. Okay, so I get to bounce a guy. The warden isn't getting bigger. There's no reason to hold lands. I can bounce and then attack for 5. It's like, okay. I'm really not scared of what black-green or red-green can do. I just don't respect it. It's also stressing me out that they have 3 cards in hand. They're playing nothing. There's like a reach trick. Attack with these. See if they block, I just give it Death Touch and Lifelink, and I'll be plenty happy. I don't think this Hot Shot does a lot here because they just... Actually, no, I think I made a mistake here. I mean, this is still... Okay, they have nothing. This is still fine, but I probably should be using the Hot Shot Investigators because they can't recast this easily. Now they have enough to recast it, so it didn't matter. They're still not playing. They must be... Oh, they might actually be legitimately like playing white and they just have cards stuck in their hand. That would make a lot of sense. And I think Naya is red, green, white's a very good color combination in this format as well. Okay. Let's just put this out. Bounce Warden. Unfortunately, I still don't have the best attacks ever. He's thinking, I'm telling you, like, they never expect the 3rd Museum Night Watch. Every disguised guy is a Museum Night Watch. Yeah, he's looking at my guy. Oh, okay. Case of the Shattered Fact. I really like this card. Are they just like, are they a monstrosity 5-color deck like we are? Okay, okay. They got white cards for sure. The Worm is excellent. That's a good turn. That's a good turn. Didn't really love drawing a land there, but... Actually, yeah, that lets me activate it for 7, and then also keep up Long Goodbye for if they play their guy face down. And I get to crash in. Hold up, lifelink, death touch. And I think they're supposed to block and make me do this, because otherwise I can use it on their turn, and they still don't have anything they can do. And I can also use this Long Goodbye to try to keep them off of their 5th color, which means I always have to keep this up, because if they solve their pact, if they solve their case, then it stays solved, even if I remove one of their colors. Buried in the Garden. What are you going to take? The Vampire? And then I'm going to keep the Long Goodbye to try to snipe their guy. They're going to take... They're really, really mad about the Museum Night Watch. Is it really better than a 4/4 on this board? I mean, you still can't reasonably attack. I can gain all the life back. They can't really block that well either. Fight down. Okay, okay. Now they can attack pretty well. They weren't holding that, were they? Guess. I haven't played a good creature in a while, and you definitely don't want to bite on a Night Watch. Okay, well, this is actually a great draw because it lets me attack into the Worm. And they have to... Oh yeah, they have to block, so I might as well attack with everything. because they are forced to block my 6 power guy. And if they play their Centaur, I can pump up the 2/2. But for right now, I'm going to make this into a lethal threat. These are turning into some long games. I knew these games would go long. Okay, I played big guy. 4/4 does not scare me. Another... Ah, man, it's going to be a 5/5. Shoot. Now I can't go into it. So in that case, I probably get more use out of the tokens than I do have this equipment. It's annoying because you can turn it into tokens, but you can't turn it back into an equipment. So maybe I just keep it for a while. Nah, it's not gonna be useful. I'm gonna pop it now. Luckily the tapper didn't screw me. Okay, we got the 4th Museum Night Watch. Am I supposed to... Yeah, I'm gonna put it face down. Opponent's like, it can't possibly be a 4th Museum Night Watch. Please let me hit you with this. It's also a lethal threat here. Ah, shoot. It would have been better to keep my haunch, because it would let me attack into the 5/5. Okay, they're attacking. Opponent. Have you heard of this disguised creature? I'm enjoying myself a little bit too much here. I mean, I'm at 28 life against 3. And I still haven't drawn my coat. Yes, it is another Museum Night Watch. Alright. I guess that's a redraw. Might as well do it now. Gonna keep up my blue mana for coat, if possible. And we draw a useless 1/1. I don't expect them to keep up anything anymore. Okay. I'm okay with holding steady. I guess if they get... There are a couple things like Aurelia that would bother me. They could be playing more... I mean, they're playing Buried in the Garden. They could be playing... That could cast anything here. And I would hope if you're playing Case of the Shattered Pack that you would have a way to unlock it. So I do technically have lethal on this board. What do we do? Let's see. Now or never, opponent. Okay, apparently never. What was it? It was a dog walker? Why didn't you flip that up? I'm not sure about that. Oh well, good game. Okay, so this next game. What are we on? 3 wins now. Going for number 4. Okay, this is gonna have all the colors. And I didn't really want the 5th land, but we're against blue, red. Hopefully, okay. They have no 2-drop. It's good. Because I'm probably not gonna have a 2-drop. Get this island. Great. I lied. I do have a 2-drop. Counterspell check? No counterspell. Alright, so pretty good start for us. Because we're going to have to remove whatever they play. Okay, I'm not too scared of this. Gets a draw and discard. Really good for collecting evidence, I think. And is there a blue-red detective deck? They pitched a flyer. They must have just drawn it, or they would have played it on turn. I actually don't even know if they would play it on turn 2. Funny enough, I do have the option to play this Dog Walker as a face-up card. But I think I want the... you know what, the 1/1s aren't going to be too great now. Okay, so they're going to draw all their good cards. Luckily I have 2 removal spells that I can cast. I mean, they're pitching removal, they're pitching creatures. Pitching more... No, they still don't have a land. Okay, land 6. I guess I just throw out my guy. I'm trying to figure if I want to attack first. Okay. This one would be very, very good with my mana. Maybe we can bait the removal spell on this 2/2. Let's see how they deal with Museum Night Watch. And I don't think there's a lot of 4 toughness blockers for blue. There's a 4/4 at 6 mana. Okay, another detective. Okay, well that does deal with Night Watcher well. And again, like this projector is doing really good at helping collect evidence. Ugh. I mean, opponent is stuck at 3. But they're doing just fine. Guess I'm gonna take this. I think, man, this would have been a lot better if I just flipped over the Dog Watcher and attacked with Vigilance, I think. Alright, so I'm not gonna get to attack here. Let's make sure I do this correctly. Lock this down. I mean, it's a flyer. I'm going to have to deal with it eventually. I can't just let it sit on the board. Hidden for 1. You know what? I covered. I noticed my mistake, and I still didn't play around it. I needed to flip it over and attack with Vigilance. I guess this is good if they have shock. I mean, if they have shock, they use shock. Alright, well, I am going to get to block. I missed 3 damage, obviously. I'm going to be at 11 here. I guess is it? Okay, maybe it was good that I didn't attack. Because they would have just shocked. And then I'll take an extra 8 damage. They play a second Bubble Smuggler. Okay, so yeah, he's a pretty good blocker. I'm not sure if I love bouncing a 2-drop here. I think I have to bounce the Inspector. Some Inspectors investigate, some Inspectors loot, some Smugglers get counters. It's a very funny life. I'm also like, I want to stall, but I really don't, because they're going to unlock their hand as soon as I draw some extra lands. And they probably have really sculpted out a good hand here. A flying guy. Probably have to deal with that. Man, my opponent got mana screwed, and I'm just getting... I still feel like I'm getting rolled here. I mean, it's always been the rule that mana screw beats mana flood, because I can't pressure you and you still have good cards in hand. What's this? 8 lands. And I don't even like have the life total advantage. They had a terrible start and I'm getting crushed. But I think I do have to start making... Nah, the Strider doesn't go. Get to whack him a little bit. And I really want to save a removal spell for like a strong 5-drop. I know they're holding something good. Yeah, I think I just say go. I could reshuffle this back in, but I really don't want them to draw it. And I don't think there's a lot of penalties for keeping it on the board. I guess they could bounce it to their hand. No, if they bounce it to their hand, I'll reshuffle it in response. Okay, they replay. They did get to 5 mana, and this is what they're doing. So I guess they don't have any crazy bomb. Yeah, do your things. This is definitely going to be rough, though. They have a really good flying deck. They're getting rid of 2 drops. Ack. They're getting rid of removal. I do not like where I'm at. And, yeah, it's another land. Okay. Not much point in keeping this any longer. I mean, I don't really want to go 5. Let's whack them first. And then, post-combat, lock down their 3/3. This maybe isn't that good because they can just attack me back. I can trade. Nah, there's nothing good going on here. I kind of just had to bait them into blocking. There's no way around this now. I'll go up to 10. And if I draw Cryptic Coat, I have dispatched all their flyers. Yeah, there's a 6-drop. I can't believe they were holding that in hand the whole time. Removes my 2/2. Yeah, they get really good value out of that, huh? And yeah, it's just getting them so much. At least I'm going to win the mill game if that comes up. But opponent's really far behind on the drawing 9 lands game. Actually, I used an escape tunnel, so... Yep. Going to 7. And they still have 2 live cards to my planes. And, you know what, 2 planes are pretty good. Hopefully they just... Are they just keeping lands in hand? It's a Krenko. Okay. And... Oh, cool. That's game over then. And with a good game. Yeah, that deck was pretty tight. I don't like the terminal amount of 2 drops, but... I mean, I don't think the opponent was looking for that. Alright, next game. Find out what's going to happen. I finally have a Gravestrider on turn 2 in my opening hand instead of just hoping to draw it. And playing against green again. I always do like playing against green. Green-black, actually. You have a nice long game. We both play our 1/3 reach on... I know, mine doesn't have reach. It's very weak. I'm not sure, would I block a 1/3 on this guy's creature? Or do you just let it hit you? I guess I could have waited a little bit, feigned some indecision. Come on, do it. Do it, yeah. I know you want to. And they get to have a very efficient turn, flip it up, kill a guy, play another Strider. I mean, it's efficient, but I actually don't want to draw the second Strider. Opponent? Or do you have a land? Plays another Inspector, it doesn't have enough evidence to beef it up. Okay. That was the best 5-drop. I really like a Killer Among Us. Played great at the pre-release too. And normally I would try and mix it up and pick a different token type, but nah. Always pick human. Although it's kind of weird how the order is different than the order of the tokens. And we're also going to try to Inception them again. Mousing over the Goblin. Okay, this is one of these red-black decks. Oh, the Morph was another Creeper. Well, they definitely have Collect Evidence 6 now. Which might come up if I bounce their guy. I think it has to. Like, Stonewall's most of my creatures that are all 1 power. I should look more into this Orzhov theme of doing 1 power stuff. No, they do have the Macabre. Now it's a really efficient turn for them. Played 2 cards, drew 2 cards, and got 1 on the board. Buried in the Garden. Well, then I don't have to bounce their guy, huh? And I'm gonna learn from my previous opponent, like, played Buried in the Garden, and the auto tapper screwed them up really bad. So let's try to make sure this works correctly. Nope. Auto tapper screws me too. That's a terrible way of doing it. I definitely know that they block the human. Why would you try to kill the human? Don't you know she's got a knife? Opponents, oops. No, I think that was a good block for you. Saved you 3 life and gave up a 1/1. Okay, so they're playing the Maverick for the... Obviously playing it for the cat art, but the second reason to play it is that they got a lot of self-mill. I've seen this 1/3 that mills himself twice, and like, I think the card's really cool, but it doesn't carry its weight, I think. Alright, and because they're stuck on 3 mana, there's no board wipe coming here. They get to gain some life. And they're definitely dead here, but you know, just in case I forget something. Let's suit up. Let's give the Goblin a... Doesn't get a knife. Gets a pork chop. Opponent's good game. And okay. I think that's 5 wins now? Or is it 4 wins? That's 4 wins. Okay. Alright, alright, alright. Unfortunately, I did not record the 5th win. So that's lost forever. But it was very quick. Now we're looking for win 6. Playing against green again. And this is just... Is this... The silver and gold tiers are just a bunch of green decks. Strider. Opponent's already showing us up. Mono green Strider? Okay, okay. This is the aggressive green deck that we've come to expect now. This is not going to block great this turn, but next turn will be good. If I don't draw a land, I'm kind of annoyed. I guess I just have to keep my mana and then try to trade with our guy. Oh, that's another Mortipede guy. Oh, I did get the land. And they have no creatures in the graveyard yet, so I'm not sure if there's any way to like mill and exile in the same turn. I'm sure there's a combination that does it. Guess if you kill your own Strider, then you could do it. Yeah. Not expecting it. Alright, I'll gladly take a trade here, or trade with a combat trick, but that's fine. This is the pompous guy. Alright. The Mortipede, like, I don't want to give him a chance to use it. I could play another Night Watch. This I can block for sure. And I have 4 removal spells in hand. I think if I just slow down the game again. They're technically missing a color. So on some of them I do kind of want to get pressure, and part of getting pressure is taking away their lifelinker. If they get up to like 28 life, I have no chance of pressuring them, and they're going to draw into their lands and overwhelm me. Okay, they got Swamp anyways. I wonder if there's any crazy thing you can do with this. Is there a strong aura? There's like an alibi aura in green. I don't respect it though. I guess you could give it a rope. If they rope this thing, it would be gang around most of my blockers. Alright, let's get my 4th color. Opponent's so impressed. I guess I just shoot their Morph right now. I mean, this is like how you get this card to trade up, right? Because you take away really powerful. Don't need to pay the ward cost when it's uncounterable. Okay, it was the flying vampire. So glad to get rid of it. I would have probably had to spend removal on this. Yeah, vampire detective. Yeah, everything's a detective now. Still's not interested in attacking. Opponent. Double Strider. Black green. I remember like someone tried to... it would have been so cool if they could give it lifelink before doing that. Someone tried to figure out... Oh, wait. Oh. Okay. Now I understand what happened. They gave +2 to the Pompadour. Don't want to attack. In that case, they should have just pumped up the Mortar. Okay, I'm going to remember this combo. Mortar plus Bite on Crime looks really cool. Oh, and they got one of these cat guys in the graveyard, so now they can make their guy a 5/3 and attack through my board. If it wasn't a Night Watch. No reason to spend this removal yet. There's a lot of big things that can pop down. Or I'm just gonna get baited by Morph guys. Yeah, I block here. I know they want me to block, but also... what am I gonna do? Take 1 damage for the rest of my life? Huh. They're still not using it. Okay, then I won't use my guy. I really want to bait them into pumping up their guy and then attacking into my 2 creatures. And I'm going to keep this land in hand because of the discard guy. The Informant, I think it is. The exile, the opponent exiles a card from their hand, so I'm going to keep this Plains in hand as a buffer. Okay, 5/3. If you make it a 6/4... They're not making a 6/4. You've already seen this card. I mean, I know you haven't seen the second one. I mean, there's a lot of things it could have been. I guess it couldn't have been the Hellion. Huh, now that I think about it, I think most of the things I could have flipped up were a 5/5. Alright. So, like, I always talk about, I like these decks that really encourage you to play a lot of... Oh my goodness. It's the Chalk Outline deck. Do these remove... these don't remove enchantments? This is very bad for me, by the way. I'm like a super removal heavy deck, and they have this infinite token generator. They have Brave Striders that exile themselves. So I'm going to double block on this, and this is going to exile itself to make another 2/2, which surveils 1. Okay. This helps a lot. Will give me a big creature that he has to deal with. Picking human. I'm trying to Inception them into thinking it's the Merfolk. Still gonna sandbag the plains. I think I've drawn every single piece of enchantment-based removal. And I drew my long goodbye. This guy investigates whenever you lose a card. Okay, I mean, I don't like them playing this. One of the, the advantages to doing a... Okay, there's Grave Strider. One of the advantages of doing this, really token-based weenie deck is that you make your opponent's removal really bad. And if you're just playing this Investigator guy, then you're making the opponent's shocks good. So I would prefer, more removal instead of this. I'm sure the opponent also would like a Strider instead. Alright, we attack with our human. Obviously a bluff. She's harmless. Man, I'm just giving my opponent more value. They just want me to block. Or they want me to attack. I mean, I had to attack to get this to a 4-4 eventually. Okay. So, do I want to... I also made an error here, I think. Wait, hold on. Auto Tapper, come on. Yeah, I think that's a fine way of doing it. I should have killed their I just said oh, this card makes my removal good, and then I didn't remove it before I attacked. So basically it's giving them an extra token for nothing. Extra clue, I should say. They're going to fly out the board so much. Cryptic Coat will get through everything. Another Mortipede, which I have to remove. Dramatic Accusations. Fine against it. Alright, we turn this up. You know what? We both got tokens here. I mean, if I didn't draw both of my 3-for-1 creatures, I would have been in a lot of trouble. Man, Dogwalker makes a 3-1 and 2 other guys. Alright, so we take out this, and then Dramatic Accuse. J'accuse, the Mortipede, did it. I'm gonna go sit in the corner and think about what you did. I'm fine with trading the Dogwalker for a 1-1 if I have to. They're gonna do it. Nah, I can block with a token. And the Dogwalker will have traded with the guy eventually anyways, and I don't have any mass pump to really justify holding it. I could have played an on the job in this deck, actually. Maybe I should have. But I really like the style for my opponent. I've drawn all my removal, and I am actually just not happy about it. They're exiling. Oh my goodness! I didn't know this was a plan. You'd Strider your own guy, and get 2 Leaves Graveyard triggers off of it. Man, that's incredible. And again, my removal does nothing to stop this. I feel very bad for attacking into that, or double blocking that Grave Strider now. I should have just exiled it. It was going to turn into 2 tokens. And they have a Morph. This game's gonna go on for a while, I think. Everyone buckle up. Okay. It is a pretty plains, at least. And I do kind of want to empty out my hand eventually. I would really like... I'll play every island I draw, but the plains, I think, are just not worthwhile. They are better as discard fodder. Let's see what you got. The laundry. Why is the laundry in here? I said like sometimes you have to struggle to play to make it 23 cards. But I wasn't expecting to see a laundry. Alright, alright. Opponent doesn't want to trade more life. Yeah, I was just like, oh my god, they're empty-handed. Like, am I winning? Like, no, they still have 3 clue tokens left over. And the chalk outline, which is the actual problem. I'm very happy that they drew Maverick instead of putting it in their graveyard. This Gorehound has been not as impressive as I think other people would expect it to be. Yeah, maybe Gorehound isn't really that great. If you have like not that many creatures on the board, then yeah, its menace ability is going to come in handy. But when you're playing a deck where you know like everyone's going to go wide, like they're going to go wide, I'm not going to attack into them, so I'm just going to hold back. I got another token maker here. I mean, I was making fun of my deck before, but I do think it's doing great. And I still haven't drawn my Buried in the... Oh, Buried in the Garden can actually take out Chalk Outline. Very cool. I've drawn 3 token makers. Drew all my removal. Gonna play another guy. Opponent has played 1 removal spell. Everything else has just been they just block. I'm not sure what they're supposed to do about Flyer. I guess if they just have lifelink guys, they can ignore flyers. I'm gonna beef up this to a 3/3. Keep everything as square as possible. And we're just gonna chill. Mostly, usually when I'm just saying I'm gonna chill, it's because I have a plan on how to win the late game. I am not sure what I'm supposed to do to win this game. Although they can get Cryptic Coat very, very quickly. Well, here's a flyer, so let's see if opponent has an answer to it. Wisp Drinker Vampire. And yeah, it's not attacking. Soul Innervation, -4/-4, and it has the theme of their deck. Whenever creature leaves, you opponent loses 1, they gain 1. Alright, life total might actually matter, so I am going to try to get the triggers from this while I can. If I were playing my opponent's deck, would I play Mass Removal? I think so. Like, you have Chalk Outline, you have the best late game. I'm clearly not playing around Mass Removal, but... Oh, geez. Yeah, that removal spell is actually... I forgot the name of the removal spell, but it's like destroy all creatures and collect evidence. Oh. Definitely gonna give back this guy. 4/5 would mean risking my whole board. And the 1 damage here, yeah, you can throw away your dog. I will block it. I don't want to give you more stuff in the graveyard, but... Oh, and I give you triggers. I am really impressed with this deck, though. There's the roots, so they have everything. Okay, whenever a creature leaves, they make a plant, and the plants get bigger. So it goes from a single 1/2 to a 1/2 and a 2/3. I think it kind of steps over. It's a weird step ladder thing. Well, they're not triggering it. They're chucking away their guy. No problemo. Could should have blocked with my Strider, but I want to keep the second blue up in case I get Cryptic Coat. This might just be like a I flip over my deck, you flip over your deck, and we see who has better stuff. They've got 7 cards left. I'm definitely winning this race. But by race, just counting down until their head explodes. I think they found a way to triggers. Oh, that's... I guess they're not getting back great cards. Oh, I guess the only other option they had was the dog. Although I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do with these clue tokens at this point. Like, every time you crack one, you just get closer to being dead. But I guess the dog surveilled is the same thing, so... might look at the 2/2. And that's probably that Drain 3 vampire thing. Although I can't be sure. No, they definitely top deck the draw 2 creatures card. I guess they're not playing any discards. So maybe I should just be running out my lands from here. They are outsizing me for sure now. Although if they keep throwing away creatures for no reason, then it's good for me. Taking 1 a turn is far better than giving them a plant, growing their plants, and giving them a detective. Okay. Little roadblock guy. Speed bump? Speed bump guy. This is literally what Thraben Inspector was described to me as, was a speed bump. I should give the story. Gonna crack the clue first. Not much point in waiting. Back when we were playing Shadows over Innistrad, okay, big guy. There's nothing to really bounce except for a token. I guess I'll just bounce their plant token. When Shadows over Innistrad came out and Thraben Inspector came out, which is the same as Novice Inspector, I don't think people really appreciated how good it was. It was just 1 mana, 1/2 investigate. I really liked the card because I really liked equipment-based decks in that format. There's a humans plus equipment theme going on. So I was starting to take Thraben Inspector pretty high. I loved having Thraben Inspector in my deck. Okay, I guess they're just holding removals this whole time and I'm just playing a lot of tokens. I also had another drafter at the store named Joe, and he always played like very, very late game decks. And he said, oh yeah, I love Thraben Inspector because it's an early drop that returns its card advantage. Okay, it was the vampire. It gets you back your card and it's a speed bump in the early game so that I can get to late. And I kind of realized that this card is so amazing. Opponents saying good game because this is... They just decked out. He said that, yeah, he loved Thraben Inspector for late game decks. I loved it for early game decks. Like, okay, I gotta start taking this card way more highly. And let's just throw out some extra cards here. That's when you know, like, it's the Roger and Ebert thing. We have a 2 thumbs up card in Thraben Inspector. I like it for aggro. Everyone else likes it for control as well. And then I think shortly after that, people figured out that card's great. And I never got to see it again. Opponent's face blows up. That was a great game. Okay. Looking for the last win. And I have Cryptic Coat, so hopefully this will be short after this insanely long, like, what was that? 20-minute game? Whew. Alright, I will be very happy to just get a free win here, although red deck, not guaranteed. Although now we get, okay, now I get to get the Swamp. I'll have Long Goodbye for whatever they play on turn 3. Yeah, I think I'm well set up here. And they didn't have a 2-drop either. I guess I'll play this to bluff a counterspell as well. There's not much point in play. Okay, so I keep this up to make them bait them into playing a weaker card on turn 3, but then I'm just gonna kill it. Okay, so they did play around the counterspell, but I am very happy. This lined up great. So I get to take out their bomb. I get to play my bomb. I also drew my 4th color. Don't get tilted opponent. This was like the only time I've ever tilted in Magic, is my opponent just drew every basic land of every color on turn 5. Just naturally. And I'm just playing like removal spells of every color, plus Cryptic Coat. And not going to get too ahead of myself, but I think this is a really good spot. This plays around basically everything. Is there anything I'm scared of? I know there is like artifact destruction in this format, but that's a pretty good card. Oh, wait, you could have played that face up, right? Didn't you play the morph face down on turn 4? I guess they wanted to get the extra trigger. I mean, yeah, if they were going to save mana on this turn anyways. And I got the Buried in the Garden, which I today learned. I was today years old when I learned that Buried in the Garden needs to tap your own mana for one thing, but also can take out any non-land permanent. So I grab this for Leader's Call. So I played Bombs and Removal across 4 colors and am attacking for 11. Or attacking my opponent down to 11. And I have no shame. They're splashing white for the War Leader's Call, or is that just normal? Get a Kraken. I mean, I could just remove their creature here, but I'm very glad to get value out of my Toxin analysis without getting shocked, so I am going to attack in and then use the Toxin. And they can't play around things anymore. Not when I have an unblockable creature. They're playing around something here. I guess they're playing around Galvanize? Maybe +3/+3? Yeah, in any case. Make another guy. I guess I could have actually put that face down and then cracked the clue, but yeah, let's play face up. It's fine. I can hit my opponent down to 1 this turn. Alright, that'll buy them some time. Although they can't... I've expected them to tap down my unblockable guy. I guess they might have something to play and they don't want to pay for ward. Cryptic Coat's like a dumb card. Okay, they didn't have that 3-drop. But I also just drew very well this game, obviously. That's not the perfect draw, but let's crash in first. And I think I'm just supposed to pick up the coat and replay it. It's better than whatever I would draw off a clue. Also just shows my opponent how this works, so then they'll just pack it in. Just making sure I can do this correctly. Maybe my opponent thought that I can move the coat over? Never mind that. I assume my opponent knows how the cards work. And this will turn into a flyer that's unblockable. Okay, Lightning Kill's a good card. They definitely played like good stuff and drew their mana. But I'm not looking for a very long game opponent. They're coming in. And I respect it. I lost the flyer. And this is just the planes. Yeah, let's pick up coat. I don't think anything counterspells this in blue-red. Let's see what we got. We got Killer Among Us. Very sus. This is just going on for so long. Alright. Escape tunnel. Pass the turn. I guess I should just kind of talk about, you know, how I like this control deck. Quintorius. I guess they have like some kind of cool brew going on over here. Do they have a collect evidence detective? I would have loved to see more of the opponent's deck. But I've got 2 removal spells here, so I just take out their stuff. And the game will be over. And the third one. Take out Quint. Take out Spectre. Okay. Opponent's got it. Merciful. Sweet end. We gotta rank up for our time. Okay, so going over this fun 4-color deck. I said it was kind of janky at the start, but you know, let's give it some praises. Okay, this does look like a mess. It's got color. It's got stuff from all 5 colors. The 1 forest was good. Dramatic Accusation was great. The enchantment-based removal was actually a lot of fun. These like extra speed bump guys. The Haunch was really great. Whisper Drink Vampire. I should have played like 2 of them. Museum White Watch, very, very good. I thought the Vampire was legendary. That's why I didn't play the second one. I would definitely recommend playing the second one. Cryptic Coat is just a complete bomb. Obviously, it gives unblockable creatures, keeps making guys, and it's really hard to deal with. And super happy to get 7 wins with this. Yeah, thanks for watching.